heck happened with the face, huh? Explain that stupid expression! Explain
it! Oh my god.
Oh no, avalanche!
Look out!
Everyone!
That's the fake albedo.
Albedo? Are you okay?
You're not hurt?
Nothing serious.
Okay, everyone accounted for.
Come on, guys. Figure it out very quick. If they don't figure this out, I'm gonna be so irritated. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to just melting the ice to find snowman stuff. That for 2 weeks I was like, what happened to the ice? So, we'll finish this up and then we're actually gonna go right back to the, quest.
I won't let you down. I'll race you there.
Where is the rest of the ice? Only so many places to put the ice. There it is. There we go. I guess that's the first one done then. Okay, hold on. Party set up so we can swap out Amber for nice and spicy again.
I'll bring my seasonings.
Huh? Are you having the hiccups? So let's just grab this so I know that that's done. Clean. Okay, let's wait, what? Yeah, I know that's a thing now. You don't need to tell me. Excuse me, sussy albedo.
Drinking some water can help with the dizziness. Oh, and lying flat on your back helps too.
Thank you, Bennett. Seems like you really know your stuff.
Well, when life gives you lemons.
Bennett, weren't you feeling dizzy too? Stop pushing yourselves, both of you. Get some rest. We'll continue when you've gathered your energy.
Eula might come off as a little frosty, but she takes caring for her friends super seriously, more than anyone else I know. Every time I see that look on her face, I'm just like, ah, stop staring at me.
I can't tell if that was the actual stop staring at me or... I can't sit. Wait a minute. Looking down on her. Sit. You don't want to talk, you sussy son of a bitch.
Wingblade!
No reaction.
Traveler, I know what that look means. What's on your mind?
It's like I have a bad feeling about this. It's like something bad's about to happen.
Maybe seasoned veterans have an instinct for it.
We are literally right next to where the second Cryo Regisvine was, and it's not like it would be a bad place to put another boss.
I sense it too. Something seems to have changed, but I can't confirm for sure. It could be difficult to verify.
What could it be? Even the imposter's like, yes, I will draw out your death.
It might be imprudent to speculate out loud, but I believe you know what I am referring to.
Yes.
Traveler, I think
He's gonna get us now.
you...
Watch out! Here he come. Cutscene. Oh, shit. Told you it would happen.
Albedo, what?
It's not over yet.
Bro, that's the best fucking cutscene in the game right there. Like, I'm not kidding. That was a really good fucking cutscene. Even the music was kind of good too. What the? That was a great cutscene. Let's really get that defense up, huh?
Stay back! I'm going to cut this weed down to size!
A whole new boss, man. Ooh, it's hurting bad.
At the frying pan, it's Goa's Plus! By royal decree!
That's really hurting me. It's small?
Hear me!
Boba, get them! I summon
Guess
thee!
you're not as big as you used to be. You was talking all that shit a second ago.
At the frying pan, it's You're toast! Midnight Phantasmagoria! Bonus plus! Windblade!
Barbados, guide us.
Nice and spicy! Bonus plus! Windblade! Boba, get them!
Not much of a boss, but the cutscene was perfect.
What in the world was that thing? One moment it was human, the next it was a plant!
Is everyone alright?
We're fine. But can you please tell us what's going on? I don't understand.
I take it this monster is whom I had the pleasure of meeting last time.
Correct. As you might have guessed, this is a mutated whopper flower. An extremely rare kind.
But can whopper flowers
turn into humans?
Not typically. But conditions on Dragonspine are far from typical. Perhaps the dragon's blood seeped into the land, then was passed to the monsters via the ley lines, accelerating their rate of mutation.
How could that happen?
This mountain is home to the remains of Durin, the venomous dragon. If there is anywhere in the world one might expect life to do unfathomable things, it would most likely be here. Durin was an artificially created life form. It's and proof of countless possibilities. In other words, this mountain we stand on is a cradle of life's profoundest mysteries. A vast and terrifying hotbed of possibilities.
The avalanche. It must have been the work of this imposter.
I think so too.
Agreed. All the other troubles you faced on the way down could also have been its handiwork. My guess is that it was targeting everyone that I've had contact with.
Did this Whopper Flower steal your alchemy notes too?
Right, I forgot all about that.
It's not inconceivable.
But what was its purpose? Was it just trying to get rid of us?
I have a preliminary hypothesis on this. Whopper flowers are masters of mimicry, and those we encounter in the wild often appear in the vicinity of the plants they impersonate. In other words, the Whopper flower likely has an instinct to replicate and replace. As a plant, it will disguise itself as another plant and infiltrate the group, hiding among them for cover. The plant being imitated has no way to detect or fight back against this behavior. But when it disguises itself as a human...
It wanted to replace you and infiltrate our group?
Yes. Maybe it created the avalanche to get rid of us. I predicted this eventuality, so I availed myself of the avalanche to hide and lure it out. It was watching us the whole time. And when it saw that I had disappeared, its instinct was to take my place. At that point, its disguise was complete, and its next move was to hunt its prey.
Imagine a fucking Whopper Flower imitating like ether. Ugh. That'd be bad on Lumine.
Yes, that's exactly how Whopper flowers operate.
So when it approached and attacked Joel, what was that? A trial run?
Perhaps. Or maybe it enjoyed posing as a human, and wanted to experience what it felt like to be human.
We're fortunate to have discovered it in time. I think the Traveler was the first person other than Albedo to notice something was wrong.
Eula, you are very perceptive too.
Traveler, how could you tell the real me and my imposter apart?
If we don't talk about the tattoo, I swear.
I want to know too. I had no idea the other guy was an imposter.
Finally.
They looked exactly the same to me.
The imposter didn't have a star-shaped mark on its neck.
I see. It goes to show how difficult it is to impersonate a human. This mutant Whopper flower tried its best to replicate the original exactly, but still managed to miss some detail.
Dragonspine creates such terrifying possibilities.
A Whopper Flower. It adds up, but a piece of the puzzle is still missing. Was this the same one we met on the day we were chasing the thief? It didn't feel quite the same. Could the Whopper Flower's mutation be unstable?
Anyway, at least we won in the end. It looks like my method did work after all. I used up all the bad luck, and the good luck finally came through.
About that, if you're referring to having fallen down the mountain and avoided injury, well, that's because I was secretly protecting you.
Huh? Well, that still counts as good luck to me.
Yes, that's not an unreasonable way of looking at it. Okay. We've been delayed long enough. Time to move on.
Yeah, let's go!
There's still more around. You see, what we have going on today is we probably have the imposters sent to like 3, so... Or maybe just 2, as normal. How many Among Us references can I slip in here? I just realized the best thing that could have happened is after Albedo stabbed, you could have done the fucking killing sound in Among Us. Or the dun 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 dun. Isn't there a cutscene appearing?
Woohoo! I'm back!
No.
Cyrus doesn't seem to be here. He must have headed up the mountain. Let's wait for him here.
Amber, are you feeling better?
Yep, all good now. Nothing to worry about.
I don't know what I'd do without you guys. If not for you, I'd probably still be locked up in that cage. I really want to thank you all properly, but I can't think how at the moment.
Huh? You must be pretty used to being on the receiving end of people's kindness by now, though, surely. You probably need it often enough, given your situation.
Come on, don't put it like that. Sure, plenty of people have shown me kindness before, but that doesn't mean I will ever take it for granted. No matter how many times people help me out in life, I will never forget any of them.
Well, instead of repaying those who helped you, perhaps you could help others yourself. Everyone meets others in need from time to time. By choosing to be there for them, you're passing the kindness you received onto others.
Yep, you're right. That's what I've always tried to do, and will always continue to do. Right. And when Cyrus gets back, I'll find some way to help him out too.
This has been quite an eventful day.
Yeah, it has. It's to relax.
I need to rest. Everyone, please excuse me for a while.
Yeah, I need to get some water and maybe a piece of fruit. Once I'm rested up, I need to get back to being an instructor again.
Well, it looks like the curse of the mountaineers who couldn't get off the mountain is finally broken. Feels like an action-packed chapter has come to a close. Shall we find somewhere to rest and chat too?
Why not? Then please, come with me.
I figured I heard something. Anyway, knew he had something to say to me.
You sensed something too, didn't you? Then let's go.
Huh? Are you going back to your camp again? Paimon thought maybe we could talk here.
Come on, Paimon.
Okay. Might as well come with you.
There's still a
Good.
part 3.
Shall we set off right away?
Sure. What if this Whopper flower is completely impersonating Albedo with the mark? Probably can't replicate that, though. Like the other one couldn't, so why would this other one be able to if there is another?
Sorry for bringing you back here once again. Some topics are best discussed in private.
Is this about the imposter?
That's right. I have to say, Traveler, I'm very surprised you noticed the difference between me and the imposter.
Do you mean the mark on your neck?
Yes. This mark. Perhaps it's where it all began.
Ooh, sounds like the beginning of a big story. Keep going.
Well, I can't deny that what I'm about to say does sound like something from a children's storybook. So, what do you think this diamond-shaped mark means?
A tattoo? A crest? Something else?
A scar?
No. Consider it a birthmark.
As I figured.
Have you ever seen an intricate glass ornament and wondered how it was made? Well, one method for crafting with glass is a technique known as glass blowing. Glass blowing is not a widely known art in Teyvat. For this reason, glassware made in this way is usually very expensive. As the name implies, glass blowing involves blowing air into a hole, much like blowing up a balloon. This type of glassware is known for having a pontil mark at the point where the blowpipe was inserted, where the hole was sealed at the very end. This mark is a sign that the item was crafted by a human hand.
Sounds kind of amazing.
It is a wondrous and beautiful art form. Alice says that these marks are seen as proof of the maker's otherwise perfect work of art. My mark is something similar to this. The difference between synthetic and natural life lies in the directional flow of the life force. The energy of a natural life form flows out from within. That's why flower buds bloom and curled leaves unfold. Creating life artificially, on the other hand, involves, to a certain extent, the introduction of an external source of energy into the embryonic life form. When the hole where the life force was infused is sealed at the end, It leaves a mark not dissimilar to the pontal mark in blown glasswares. The alchemical substance drips and spreads out in all directions, resulting in this rather ingenious diamond shape.
Wow! So that's where it came from.
This mark is a sign of my artificial origins, and proof of my imperfection as a human. I presume that the impostor intentionally avoided replicating this mark, so as not to become less than perfect himself.
Should you be telling me all this?
You are fundamentally different from other people. I have few qualms about sharing my secrets with you. Just as Paimon said, it all sounds like a story. Even if you were to tell anyone else, they would regard it as nothing more than a tall tale. The transcendent and miraculous are not the only things to which human beings aspire. They pursue the everyday, the ordinary, to a far greater extent than I would have ever imagined.
Hence the notion of otherness.
People like to believe that those who are thoroughly different from themselves could only ever exist in stories. It makes things much easier. Or, in other words, all of the unfathomable things we've seen recently would make good material for a novel. I have friends who write novels. If they wrote this story, it'd probably be even more complex.
Making up stories is easy. Even Paimon can do that.
Oh. I didn't know you had that kind of talent.
Paimon's the best guide into that. Making up stories is a piece of cake.
You know, Paimon, about that best guide into that thing, you have been, sadly, the worst guide into that, because you have not actually led me to anything.
In that case, how about we have a storytelling contest? We can base our stories on the events of the last few days.
Sounds great. But we still have to help out the Adventurers Guild.
I understand. Creativity is something that cannot be rushed. Take your time, and come back when you have found some inspiration. We'll see whose story is more compelling.
Deal! Okay, we'll regroup with the Adventurers Guild for now.
Sure.
And that'll end at... Oh. Man, this is getting a lot of cutscenes.
My story. Yes, I should have known. Master's failed specimen in the dragon's belly. This is where the story truly begins. If we switched places, if you were the survivor, then as the abandoned experiment, the failure of the primordial human project, I'd want to replace you too. I would replicate your appearance, study your alchemy, and create miraculous life forms to divert your attention. I would wait for the right moment, then dispose of you and the Traveler, the sole person to have known your secret. And then, I could finally experience the joy of being brought into the world.
I mean, you make that sound like the end, but that can't be. We have an Act 3 to this. How long are we gonna look at the mountain? I'm surprised this event has so many cutscenes. But man, Albedo going after that other Whopper flower. Holy shit. Oh my god, no, this is the thing where you gotta fight the boss so much now. Yeesh.
Guess what? Paimon's story is finished. Let's go see Albedo again.
We actually got the Paimon painting? Bro, you know I'm not putting that in my place. Is this gonna be... No, this is only for the event, though. I hope I can, like, you know, matchmake and fight it with people. Probably not, though. I don't want to keep rushing, because I like to use the thumbnails as, like, the cutscenes as thumbnails, but, like, I don't know. We'll probably have one more cutscene show up, I would assume.
Albedo!
Traveler, Paimon, I suppose your story is ready.
Yep. How about you? Do you need some more time?
No need. I am also ready to tell my story.
Paimon calls dibs. Paimon first!
Please, go ahead.
Okay, here goes. Once upon a time, there was an evil experiment on whopper flowers to transform their appearance. After a lot of pain and suffering, the whopper flowers finally took on a human form. Then they stood by the side of the mountain to wait for unsuspecting bypassers. To whoever spoke to them, they would ask some questions such as, "Who am I? Who are you?" If the bypasser got the wrong answer, the last sound they'd make would be a yelp before the whopper flower ate them alive in one bite.
Huh. Kind of falling asleep over here.
Ooh, truly frightening.
Yes, Paimon is. Paimon is truly frightening.
What the? You two aren't scared at all! Don't go nitpicking, okay? If you didn't like the story, go write your own!
Ooh, in that case, I want to add some horror elements in. After the whopper flower ate someone, they would turn into that person.
In other words, the whopper flowers would ambush and then completely replace their victims.
And then adopt their newfound identity.
And then what? Go back to where the person lives? Enter their home? Eat their whole family?
I've seen scarier.
Paimon made up this story, but now Paimon's the one who's scared by it.
Who would be scared of this?
It's a good story. Oh, may I write it down? I may bring it up in future conversations.
What for? Just to scare people with?
Yes.
You've got a real mean streak, Albedo.
So what's your story?
Mine is a little longer than yours. It starts with an alchemist. A great alchemist once created Subject 1. Subject 1 was her proudest achievement, and successfully blended into human society. No one ever would have thought that this friend of theirs was in fact a synthetic human. However, unbeknownst to Subject 1, the alchemist had tried the same experiment many times before he had come into being. Some of the rejects from failed experiments had been discarded, but had not died. Subject 2 was one such failed experiment. He was swallowed by a great dragon that came to rest upon a snow-swept mountain. Many years later, he saw all kinds of people on the mountain, including Subject 1, who had somehow miraculously blended in among them. Never in Subject 2's wildest imagination had he thought it possible for experimental life forms such as they to deceive everyone so successfully. He saw the way humans accepted Subject 1 as a friend, witnessed their affection as they addressed him by name. This was what Subject 2 wanted. Now, all that Subject 2 desired was to replace Subject 1 and take the joy of his existence for himself.
This is giving Paimon the chills. So scary.
Subject 2 began to unfold his plan. He stole Subject 1's books and notes and studied all that Subject 1 had learned from the alchemist. Subject 2 was highly intelligent, and he learned quickly. He changed his face into an exact replica of Subject 1's face. Then, he found a plant with mimicry capabilities and transformed it using dragon blood and alchemy. And so, not only did Subject 2 transform his own appearance to perfectly match that of Subject 1, he also created a third entity, Subject 3.
What? There's 3 of them now?
But Subject 2 wanted to become a perfected human. So, he erased a mark on both his and Subject 3's necks. For these marks were symbols of imperfection.
He purposely erased it? Like, Albedo's definitely trying to tell you about the third Albedo, the second imposter.
In my view, it was probably a subconscious act, an instinct. He so desperately craved to become a perfect human being that he forgot something. Human beings are defined by their flaws. Subject 2's plan was meticulously crafted. Subject 3 would draw Subject 1's attention. After Subject 1 disposed of Subject 3, he would assume the threat had now disappeared and would let his guard down.
So you're saying we took out Subject 3, but Subject 2 is still alive?
The next moment that Subject 1 was alone, Subject 2 would make his move. He would eliminate Subject 1 and become the only one remaining. He would secretly replace the Subject 1 of everyone's memories and inherit his identity, residence, and friends. People would have no idea that the individual they knew had become somebody else from one day to the next.
This is way too scary. Paimon's never gonna be able to trust anyone again.
But just before Subject 2 could carry out his plan, a unique stranger entered the mix. Subject 2 tried to make contact with this person, but found that they could somehow sense he was different from Subject 1. What's wrong? Are you scared?
What happened then? What happened to the stranger?
He became a new stage in Subject 2's plan. One more person that Subject 2